have a chat. A little fireside chat with Georgia and Georgia Tech fans, because I think you're both in a place that very few fan bases are in today. That if I open this question up to all college football fans and said, you happy with your head coach? Like, I mean, happy. Not looking around, don't have any doubts, no worries. You are just happy. If I took it to the political realm and I said, what's his approval rating? I would tell you that 90+% of Georgia and Georgia Tech fans would have a positive approval rating on their head coaches. And I don't think I can say that for many teams around college football. And I'm cherry picking the moment. I grant you that. But what do you think of Texas fans saying today about Sark? Kind of on the fence more than they've ever been, right? Off that awful loss against Florida. Sark, who now loses to a bad team. Sark, who has had trouble beating good teams. He's 2-8 against top 10 teams at Texas. 2-8. In his career, he's 5-18 against top 10s. Last season, he played one SEC team who finished ranked, and he lost to that team twice. That was Georgia. That's Sark. Ask Penn State fans how they feeling today. Think they're happy with their head coach? Certainly not. Not only does Franklin lose to the good teams, now he's losing to the dumpster fires. Sorry to UCLA. Chuck, I think I could put together, and maybe it's a hand, maybe it's a few extra fingers. If I went around to all college football fans and said, are you happy with your head coach? And you have an approval rating, if I talk to 100 of you, that would be over 90%. Georgia Tech is on the list because of Brent Key and what he's done. Georgia's certainly on the list because of what Kirby has accomplished. It's not very often that Tech and Georgia at the same time have been this content with their program and with their head coach. They're the minority.
No, and it takes a lot less for a fan base, and we were finding out administration, I don't know, let's fire our guy after 3 weeks, a lot less for a fan base to have discontent with their head coach today because it can be so clearly obvious that this is hopeless. Like UCLA, they realized this might be hopeless. Virginia Tech looked around and was like, this is going to be hopeless. We have to make a change right now. Oregon State's AD sent a letter out. If you can see over the weekend, they lost again. They're 0-6, which my only takeaway was I'm impressed with Washington State because they're in the same position. They're actually winning some games. They're 0-6. They fired the special teams coordinator. The AD sends out a letter. We got to start everything over here. We need a big plan. So it's a desperate, hopeless viewpoint from some fans right now.
So let me go back to the Tech Georgia part of this. The Clemson fan base, probably the least happy they've been with Dabo. Even if you were the most ardent Dabo fan, he'll get it back.
Yep.
It's not happening. The Florida fan, you were already unhappy. Maybe Saturday took a little edge off. You're still not happy with your head coach. But I can go around college football. I already hit Penn State, already hit Texas. Florida State fans aren't happy with Mike Norvell. LSU fans ask him week to week about Brian Kelly.
Ole Miss and Miami are.
They are. I'm going to get to the R's in a minute.
Yeah.
LSU, USC fans aren't particularly in love with Lincoln Riley.
They have him because of the 10-year contract.
I think Michigan fans are kind of okay, still not universally in love. Nebraska, a bunch of other places don't have that universal love. And do not laugh, folks. I don't think Ohio State fans have universal for Ryan Day, and he just won a title. Till he can beat Michigan, it's the weirdest thing to think about that they're like, thank you for our title, now beat them. That Ohio State's fans, if I polled 100 of them, I don't know if 90 or 95% would say, yes, that's my guy. I have no doubts. I believe in him 100%. I just don't think it would get there. You mentioned it. Ole Miss fans today would with Lane. Oregon fans would with Dan Lanning today. Indiana fans would with Kurt Signetti. They would. Tennessee fans, I think, would have a universal Josh Heupel. I hadn't won a title, but he's gotten him back to relevance, and that had been a hot minute. Maybe a few others. It is such a short list, and Georgia and Georgia Tech are on it at the same time. That's kind of salad days, boys and girls. Enjoy that.
Yeah, you're going to have to find out with Notre Dame fans. They're going to have to wait. Are we in the playoffs? All right, Marcus. Or we're not in the playoffs? I don't like Marcus.
But that's okay. You just answered the question. You just answered it. That if let me wait. Well, then you're not universally in love with the coach and the program. Are you happy?
10-2 got us in? All right, I'm happy.
Your happiness is like, I'll wait and see. That's not happiness. If I polled fans today and I went on the street and said, Georgia Tech, you happy with your program and your head coach? Damn straight we are. Georgia fans, you won your 2 titles a couple of years ago. Still very good, not the same. But, of course, you'd still say, yeah, Kirby, happy with the program, all of it.
The other basket is a place like Illinois where they got Brett Bielema and they're 4-1 or 5, and they're like, yeah, all right, we got something here. Maryland, they lost in the fourth quarter. They gave us 17 points, and they finally lost their first game of the year. Do you know Maryland hadn't trailed this year?
How about that?
Until the fourth quarter of the game Saturday. So Maryland...
Friedgen's doing good work over there.
See, Maryland can't actually win anything of substance. But right now, Mike Loxley.
Oh, it's not Friedgen, no.
No. Right now, a Maryland fan would be happy, but they know there's no big picture here. Illinois fans know there's no big picture. Georgia Tech fans looking around going, we could actually win the conference this year right now and go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you did the order wrong. I think it's go to the playoff, and if we win the conference, great. The playoff is the thing. Like a Georgia Tech playoff season, wrap your head around it. Like
Bobby Dodd hosting a playoff game. Do not sell it down the street.
That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary for you to throw that in. They're not selling it down the street. Stop.
Really?
I don't think. I hope.
I've seen it in high school, haven't we? Where you're like, that stadium's too small for the playoffs. Let's move it over to the big one.
I know, but let's fill the stadium before we worry about moving it.
For a playoff game, you would.
Yeah, I think you would.
I'll even say the worst possible. Number 8, Georgia Tech hosting number 9.
Who is number 9? Is that like
doesn't matter. They're going to sell it out, man.
Yeah.
Matt and I'll be broadcasting.
There, but we're not going to Mercedes-Benz. We're not doing that. Let's enjoy this. Don't take the edge off. That was an unnecessary part of the conversation.
If it's number 9 Notre Dame, number 9 Ohio State.
Well, now you're doing different things. But if it's number 9 Texas Tech, do that one.
Bobby Dodd.
Probably a fair way to do it.